can see headlights. Who the was that?
We're currently on our way to a lovely little spot called Lake Vyrnwy, but we're invading Wales tonight on a sneaky little stealth camp, hopefully by the lakeside of Lake Vyrnwy. We've got some beautiful food to cook up tonight, but I'll show you that a bit later on. I have seen a few things online though, saying that you can't actually sleep in your vehicle around the lakeside itself. There's a few car parks you have to pay for. We're going to try and get a bit of free night camping tonight. The difference between us and other campers is that we're in a car. We're in probably the most inconspicuous vehicle that you can ever do any camping in. We're also going to be doing a bit of exploring while we're away. I've heard there's a lovely waterfall at the top of Lake Vyrnwy, but we're going to do a bit of a recce first and see if we can find a nice little spot that we can camp in tonight. I'm in two minds whether to cook and sleep in the same place. It might be a little bit of a giveaway. We'll have to play it by ear once we're on the ground. If I do feel like we've been a bit too exposed while cooking, I'll move to a different spot around the lake. The lake's big enough anyway. I think there's a place called Lake Vyrnwy Hotel that charges about 200 quid a night to stay there. Well, we're not going to pay a penny tonight. We'll be right by the lakeside. Fingers crossed. And just as we head into camp, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, Manual. They're a British company dedicated to men's health. I sometimes find that us blokes find it a little bit difficult to talk about our health issues. They provide a number of products which include hair loss treatment, which I've got a sample here to show you guys in a minute, weight loss treatment, vitamin supplements, and probably one of the most difficult things that I think men find to talk about, erectile dysfunction. All you need to do to get started with one of their treatment plans is fill out a 2-minute questionnaire in the link below so they can assess your personal needs. And as an exclusive offer for you guys watching, I've got a 50% discount code below for your first order and a 10% discount code for your second one. I think there's a lot of stigma around the topics that I've just mentioned, but hopefully by me mentioning this in this video, it'll help some of you guys watching. And this is what you get if you decide to go with one of their hair loss treatment plans. You get a number of informational booklets there. You get a packet of tablets to take with your treatment and a number of sprays that take 2 minutes to apply each morning. So finally, I want to say a big thanks to Manual for sponsoring today's video. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can get started on one of Manual's treatment plans today in as little as 2 minutes while using the discount codes provided below here. Right, back to the video in Lake Vyrnwy. Someone's having a wedding or something here. Look at those incredible views. Looks like some people have already beaten me to it. That's definitely a camper there. Right, here we go. The infamous signs. Let me show you. No overnight parking / camping. That's going to be where we're going to struggle, I think. It's a bit too busy for my liking at the moment, but we've still got to go and check out the waterfall first. So yeah, this is spot number 1, a potential absolutely gorgeous lakeside park up. Anyway, on to the next spot. Let's get close to this waterfall. I've got a feeling this is the car park. So I think this is the car park at the top of Lake Vyrnwy that's just by Vrynwy or Vrynwy. I have no idea. I have no idea how to pronounce Welsh stuff. It's Vrynwy or something waterfall. The wind's picking up a little bit. Look at that scenery though. That's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. A couple of updates on the car actually that I'm going to tell you guys about since we did a last camp. One thing I've had to do is modify my kettle a little bit. Last time I did a camp I didn't notice it, but pouring up some water before I came, I noticed that the spout was leaking. Has anyone else watching this video had problems with these kettles before? I know Ad's Ventures that I met at the Adventure Overland show said that this is the second kettle that he's brought. But yeah, I had to put a little bit of the old sealant on it. Hopefully that won't leak tonight. So after looking around the car park for a couple of minutes, I can't see any signs saying that you need to pay. So I think we're good to go. It's actually quite nice to see a car park in such a beautiful location for free. Wow, look at that. That is absolutely incredible. Even though it's quite dry on the path, it's quite wet and muddy up here. Ooh. I think that's about as close as I dare get. Speaking to a few of the people coming up, they say it gets a lot more slippery and a lot more steep. It's definitely a spot I could spend a few hours at. We've got a camping spot to find. I'm glad I found that. So this is the other side to the walk. We've just gone up the one way. It's basically like a loop walk. It takes about 20 minutes. I think it took me about maybe 10-15 minutes to get to the waterfall. And there we are, back at the car park. Just while I go and find a park up for tonight's dinner, I might run some footage now of when me and Matty were here a couple of months ago. The vlog that never made it. A couple of interesting facts about the reservoir itself, some nice shots. We did a little walk around the lake and got some nice drone footage. But it never made it to the channel, so I might just show you it right now. So Lake Vyrnwy, ladies and gentlemen, was constructed towards the latter end of the 19th century. About 1880, I believe. And the reason for its construction, which will be particularly relevant to Matty here, because you've got Liverpudlian family, I do, is it was constructed to supply Liverpool with fresh drinking water. Did you know that? No, I didn't. Well, now you do. And it was over in the distance over there, with that little castle fort thingy, whatever you want to call it, that the water would then go on its 70-mile journey into Liverpool. You ready for a skimming competition?
I think I am.
Yes? So I'm going for something slightly different tonight. Instead of fajitas that we cooked up on the long mend, I'm going to be having some chicken skewers. I've got 2 chicken breasts in there that we're going to cut up. I've actually forgot my chopping board tonight, so I'm a bit of an idiot, but I'm going to use these paper plates that I always use now to chop the stuff on, because these are super convenient to just throw away when I don't need them. We're going to be using a selection of spices. Oh, that box smells good. some Cajun spice, some peri-peri seasoning, some paprika, of course, some pepper, some salt, a dash of oil, and to finish it off, it wouldn't be a skewer or a fajita without some Cholula hot sauce. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. Haven't had kebab skewers in a long time, so let me crack on with it and get dinner on the go. What do you think of the haircut, by the way? Please don't leave any nasty comments, because this is a speciality of my wife. She cut my hair. It might not be the perfect hairdresser job, but it was free. My local hairdressers has gone from charging 9 quid to 13 quid a haircut now. Now for those southerners, that's probably quite cheap and a bargain. But for me, if I'm paying more than £10 for a haircut, I'd rather just shave it all off. We've got our veg done, we've got our peppers done, we've got our onions done, we've got our tomatoes done. I'm now going to start marinating the chicken. I think someone's having some wedding photos in the background. Not a bad spot for it. Well, if by any chance the happy couple get to watch this video, I wish you well in your future endeavours through life. This is what the skewers are looking like so far. A couple of pieces of chicken. That is going to be nice. And then what I'm thinking of doing is popping it in the pan like that, leaving a bit exposed out the side, and just flipping it every so often. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, that should cook it quite nicely. Have a look at them. I think this beats what's on telly these days. Five kebabs all to me. That's quite a bit of food, you know, considering that the chicken costs 2 quid. How much is a pepper and a pack of tomatoes and a red onion? Nothing really. That's a pretty decent meal. Let's get some of the old Cholula on it. My God. That smells and looks absolutely incredible. Oh yes. Kebabs without bugs. That's the way I like my kebabs. Oh wow, that is absolutely delicious. I'm glad I didn't put any more spice on, because these are actually quite hot as they are. So I've ended up moving from that fly-infested spot. After I ate those kebabs, I just thought there's no way I'm going to sleep here tonight. So I'm going to do my very best at trying to air the car out of all those flies. It was an absolute nightmare. There's a couple buzzing around, whether those are the ones that I've brought in my air along the way. But yeah, look at this absolutely beautiful spot here. I just had to come down here from the top where I'm parked and just sit on these benches. What a great little area. Got a bench down there, and one over there. Absolutely brilliant picnic spot for a family. Right, I'll leave you with this view. I'm going to try and get my head down for the night.
It's hard to be this real. We can play our favorite song, dancing to it all night long. With you I feel something, 'cause we're both so unashamed. We're not playing any game.
Okay, all stealthed up. One absolutely epic evening. If it wasn't for those goddamn flies, which there's a couple still in here now, it would have been perfect. Anyway, I don't think there's anything left to do now, apart from getting dressed, get into bed, and wake up to that beautiful view. If you don't hear from me, then I've had a good night's sleep. I'll see you guys in the morning.
I can see headlights. Who the was that? They just drove off. Didn't shout anything. Didn't ask if anyone's in here. Gave a couple knocks, shone the light in, and drove off. Shit. I thought someone would come back then, Jesus. What do I do? What do I do? The fact that they left makes me think that they're probably just going to leave me be now. I'm going to see how it goes for the next half hour or so. What time is it? 1 o'clock in the morning. Man. That is one absolutely terrifying feeling. Right, I'm going to keep an ear out for a bit. I'll let you know if anyone returns. Fingers crossed they don't. And if you don't hear from me before morning, they've naffed off. Well, that's one hell of a wake up I've ever had one. Jeez. Anyway, about the rest of my evening. It was probably about 3:30. A van pulled up, lights turned on directly at the car. No one got out. Probably for about 15 minutes, the car was just sat there with the lights shining on the car. I decided not to move because I'd already bed down for the night. It was gone, well, by the time they'd left, it had nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. It wasn't going to be long before the daylight hit. So I decided just to wait it out. I managed to get maybe an hour at about 7 o'clock. And I've just dozed in till about now, which is about 9:15 now. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I think I'm gonna let my eyes adjust a little bit to the light and scarper from this spot, I think. I don't really fancy anyone else coming along and taking umbrage at me potentially staying here for the night if they've actually clocked my car in the middle of the night, whoever that was with the flashlight. And then yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna be cooking up some breakfast, heading over to Lake Bala. So it's quite a nice lake. Got some beautiful food that I'm gonna be cooking in the back of the car and just have a general explore. But thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.